it's Miss Phillips again, and today we are going to finish our book, A Tree for Emmy. So we are going to finish our book, but before we do that, I do want to review what happened yesterday with Emmy, and then after we finish reading, we are going to write. Okay, so let's get started on reviewing a little bit. So we saw that Emmy loved all kinds of trees, but she loved the mimosa tree the most. She loved it the most because she knew that it was wild and stubborn, just like her. So she decided that she wanted a mimosa tree for her birthday. But when she got to the garden store, they didn't have any mimosa trees because they were a wild tree, and they do not sell wild trees at the store. So she went to more garden stores and she could not find any mimosa trees. She was very disappointed. She was also very sad. So that's where we left off yesterday. So now we're going to start the new part and see what happens next for Emmy. Are you ready? Something touched Emmy's nose. She opened her eyes. A big weed was tickling her face. No, it wasn't a weed. With that long stem and those feathery green leaves, it looked like... Wait a minute. Could it be? It was a mimosa tree. Emmy ran to get Mama and Daddy and Grandma. Mama, said Grandma, peering down. That's a mimosa, all right. A baby one, but a tree all the same. Can I have it, Grandma? Begged Emmy. For my birthday, please. Why, surely, said Grandma. So Grandma and Emmy set to work. Carefully, they dug up the tiny tree. Emmy wrapped the roots in the wet newspaper so they wouldn't dry out. Then they put the mimosa in a big tomato can for the trip home. Emmy scouted the yard for a special place for her tree. Under my window, she decided, so I can see it all the time. Emmy and her parents dug a hole for the little tree. I can't wait for fuzzy pink flowers and rattly seed pods, said Emmy. When will that be? Emmy, honey, it's just a baby tree, said Mama. It won't have flowers or pods for quite a spell. It won't? Said Emmy. No, said Mama. No fair, yelled Emmy. Dumb old tree! She ran to her room and flopped on the bed. She buried her head in her pillow and wished for a tree like Grandma's. Stubborn and strong and tall. Oh no, I can tell here. Emmy might be sad, but she seemed like that she was also kind of mad a little bit. Wonder what's going to happen next. Emmy sat up and looked out the window. Daddy was cutting the grass. Soon he would be under her window. She ran outside. Daddy! She shouted, waving her arms. Daddy turned off the lawnmower. My tree, said Emmy. You're going to mow over it. Said Daddy. You mean the dumb old tree? Emmy looked down at her tiny feet. Emmy looked down at the tiny tree. It can't help being small, she said. It will grow someday if I water it and love it and keep it safe. I suppose so, Daddy said. Why don't we build it a fence? So Emmy and her daddy made a stick and string fence all around the tree. Now it can grow, said Emmy. Till then, I can pick pink blossoms off Grandma's tree. But someday soon, Emmy knew her baby tree would grow up tall, stubborn, and strong, and a little bit wild, just like her. The end. So I hope y'all really enjoyed that story. So now what we are going to do is we are going to write where we would want to plant a tree. Okay, friends, so the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to get a piece of paper and something to write with. Do that now and pause the video. Okay, so now we are ready. Okay, so the first thing that you are going to do is you are going to make a big rectangle box for your drawing. The next thing that you are going to do is you are going to draw 2 lines on the bottom. So now it's time for me to think about where I would plant a tree before I draw my picture. So, I know! I will plant it in my backyard. Okay, now it's time for me to draw and label. Okay, friends, since we're done drawing our picture, now it's your turn to go draw your picture of where you would plant a tree, and you are going to label it. Can't wait to see your drawings. Bye!